Hi everyone, this is Lee here from ABCs of Anesthesia, and in this video I'm going to go through all the resources and all the different stuff that you might find interesting on our website. So let's get started. Now our website is actually anesthesiacollective.com, and you can see that in the link just here, but I'll also give all the links in the show notes below as well. Now, it's Anesthesia Collective because it's actually a collaboration with a lot of different people who've just helped me along the way. People like Dr. Stan Tay, who does some amazing part one teaching with his stuff on Patreon, as well as doing the Anesthesia Coffee Break podcast with me. There's Kaz, who does amazing work with video editing and videography, as well as helping me on the ABCs of Anesthesia podcast, who he's a co-host for. And then our guest as well, and she's fantastic because we've set up the SIMG course IXL. So just a little bit about this website. Now, first of all, on the homepage really it has most of the resources, and I probably want to get to the courses as that's the most important thing I want to talk about. Essentially, I want to provide really good online courses through Zoom, and everything that's available will be up on this website, and you can find it on the homepage as well as on the the menu bar there. So right now I've got the FANSCA Final Exam Course Viva Bootcamp, the ABCs of Anesthesia Bootcamp series, and that's pretty much for anyone about to do their first 12 months of anesthesia or in their first 12 months of anesthesia. So I'll literally go through all the basics through a number of lectures through the year. I've got the Medical Student's Guide to Anesthesia lecture series. Now this is pretty much just a free lecture series. We run it for an hour or so on one of the weekdays, usually a Wednesday evening, and I've got lots of those lectures, and we'll have lots of guest presenters to that as well. And now that will go through so much of the basic stuff you need to learn as a med student, and I'll give you tasters of what it's like to be in actual anesthesia, information that pretty much specialists in anaesthetists know. And then there's the IXL SIMG exam coaching program as well, which we'll go through. So we'll get into those in a second. Now, really importantly, I guess my biggest platform is YouTube, so I've got the link there to YouTube. I've got a couple of podcasts here, Anesthesia Coffee Break, where really I'm just having a chat with Dr. Stan Tay, and he's just, he was a prize winner for this primary physiology and pharmacology exam in anesthesia in Australia, and so he's just fantastic, wealth of knowledge, and we have a chat about pretty much a lot of things to do with the first part, basic pharmacology and physiology as it relates to anesthesia, but also just things that help increase performance. So we talk a lot about performance tips and what we do to improve our productivity, memory, and our performance for this exam. The ABCs of Anesthesia podcast, now that's more for just the general introductory to anesthesia stuff. So yeah, you'll find that we're going through everything from interview training applications, getting onto the anesthetic training program, as well as some of the basic stuff like basic pharmacology and physiology as well. I've got a few blogs here, so as I come up with something, I'll generally write it out or make a video about it, so any of the blogs will be there, and you can always subscribe to our newsletter, and that way you can be on the mailing list for any of the new stuff that I add. Now on the education tab, I'm gonna really change this drastically. Well, actually have much more easy to access information, free resources, PDFs, and the methods that I use at all these different levels. So hopefully that will be really useful for you. So on the online store, I've got the ABCs of Anesthesia workbook, and that's relevant for the ABCs of Anesthesia bootcamp course. And you can find that playlist actually on YouTube under the ABCs of Anesthesia bootcamp playlist. I've got the Viva Bootcamp workbook, again, goes alongside the Viva Bootcamp, and you can find that whole lecture series for the final exam, which is really just specialist clinical anesthesia exam information. And you can find all those videos on Vimeo, and again, I'll put the link to that down below as well. Now, I get asked a lot about my differentials tables, which I've got there, and also patient assessment templates. So all of these things are available. Now, the courses that are most relevant for the ABCs of Anesthesia audience will be these ABCs of Anesthesia Bootcamp series. So this is where I'm just doing lectures on a Saturday for a couple of hours on very important topics that you'll need to know for your first 6 to 12 months of anesthesia. So obviously the cost is variable, and every single cent, so 100% of the income that I make from these courses goes absolutely to charity. So I really just want to give everything away and try to make the maximum impact that I can with this channel. Really, it's earning to give philosophy. So in these lectures, you can see just in the sign up below, I've got some already booked in for airway management on Saturday the 19th Feb, crisis management on Saturday 7th May, and critical anesthesia inductions on the 25th of June 2022. So when you sign up there, you'll be taken to Humanitix, which is a ticketing site. Actually, a real big plug for Humanitix. Fantastic site. They donate all of their ticketing profits, the small amount that they charge per ticket as a percentage. All the profits from that go to a reputable charity, and they've got a particular scheme for doing that. Again, really fantastic platform. I'm really happy to be using them for this. Yeah, and really helpful people as well. They really try to do some bespoke stuff for ticketing for me as well. So that's the ABCs of Anesthesia Bootcamp series. And the other thing that could be really relevant is this free education series, Medical Student's Guide to Anesthesia lecture series. Now, again, at this point, all the lectures are absolutely free. I just want to do this because I remember being a medical student and pretty much being poor the whole time, and it's very hard to afford anything. So I just wanted to make sure that we can give something that's really useful as well as a free resource for medical students who want to learn anesthesia, but perhaps in university they're just not getting the anesthesia time that they really want to have. So we'll cover lots of things, including basics of anesthesia, patient assessment and planning, how to approach arranging your rotations, how to impress your supervisor, as well as all the esoteric stuff like crisis management, advanced life support, physiology, etc. So as you can see here, I've already got a few courses up here. So is your patient fit for surgery, pain management, IV cannulation, advanced life support in deteriorating patients, and fluid therapy. So sign up if you're interested, and yeah, free session, which will be happening usually for an hour on an evening during the week, usually Wednesday. Now, so the part of my website that I'm most proud of is the donations part of it. So every single cent that we make, so 100% of income from the courses, from YouTube, from Vimeo, from everywhere, goes straight to a charity. So every time we host one of these courses, yeah, we put the money straight to Fred Huller's generally, or Red Cross, or the Asylum Seeker Resource Center. So it's been, I hope that this is just going to get bigger and bigger, and we'll be able to make even more impact in the future. So really, that's the website. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you got a good insight into the website. If you have any recommendations, any questions, or you believe that the website should have some other avenues or some other resources, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it, and I'll do my best to try and make it happen. Thanks very much for watching, and please share with anyone who might be interested in learning more about medicine and anesthesia.